Hi, class. Now that we're learning logarithms, I wanted to take a moment and show you how logarithms have been used to describe how things are going with the COVID-19 virus. So to do that, what I want to do is I want to start with a very simple exponential function, y equals, let me do that again, y equals 2 to the x. Now this is a function that doubles the number of things. In this case, we're talking about the number of people that are contracting COVID virus. So in this particular situation, we're going to be looking at x to some extent being time. And the idea is that we're currently, I think we're looking at least in Florida, that we have a doubling time of every 3 days. So each time we go up 1 in x, it's basically, for Florida, that would represent 3 days. But what I'm trying to do is try to keep this discussion simple so you can understand the basics of what's going on when they show us these logarithmic graphs, which seem to be really big right now on the news and in the newspaper. So let me first do this, though. Let's go ahead and let's go back in time and see if we can remember how to graph an exponential function. So what I'm going to do for these numbers, because we're dealing with real, real people, real things, I'm going to start with the number 1. And so I have my cat right now is vying for my attention right now. Come on, Mia. All right, so here, let's go ahead and fill in our values here. So when x equals 1, 2 to the 1 power is going to be equal to 2, and 2 squared is 4. 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 2 to the fourth will be 16. And notice we keep doubling the number here, 32, and then 64. So if I graph this, what I'm going to get is an exponential function that we've seen before. So let me go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the y scale, I'm going to start with 2. And actually, to make this a little simpler, what I'm going to do is let me just start at 0, and I'll go up in increments of 5, I guess, to make it fit this graph better. So I'm going to go 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. Now, as I graph the points, I got 1, 2 is going to be somewhere around here. 2, 4, 3, 8. And pretty soon you're going to start recognizing this as a graph that we've seen before. 4, 16, a little bit over the 15, and 5, 32. See how the graph goes up pretty fast. And 64, we don't really have enough space to do that, so we're just going to be shooting up. So we're looking at a graph that looks roughly like this. And we've actually been seeing graphs like this in the news, and this is a graph that's exponential, and it's showing that the number of people that are contracting COVID-19 is an exponential growth graph. So it doesn't mean that we get 10 more every day. It's like we can go from 10 to 3 days later to 20 to 3 days later to 40, and we're doubling each time. So that's the that's the scary thing, is that we're on an exponentially increasing number of people that are contracting the COVID virus. Now, it's not very useful, unfortunately, to look at an exponential graph to get an understanding of what's going on and in our ability to control it. So what we're going to do is what a lot of the scientists have done is they've gone to a logarithmic graph, and let me show you how that works. Now, if we take this function and I change it to into a log function. I don't have much space here. Should have left more space, but let me go ahead and change this to a logarithmic function. If you remember, that's going to be the logarithm itself is equal to x, and x is equal to the log. In this case, the base is 2, and the number is y. So if you understood our last homework assignment, you would understand how to convert from here to from this to that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that's saying. Is if I go ahead and I plug in my x and y values, just for the table I have over here, what I have is when x is equal to 1, then that means log base 2 of 2. When the log is equal to 2, I get log base 2 of 4. And I can keep going. When the x is equal to 3, when the logarithm is 3, I get log base 2 of 8, and then I just keep doubling. So here's 4. Let me just go ahead and finish this. And 5 equals log base 2 of 32. And then when the log is equal to 6, I get log base 2 of 64. Now, what we're going to look at here when we go to the logarithmic graph, what we're going to do is, instead of going up, if you notice from this graph, we add, and this is graphs that you're used to, is to get from one increment to the next, we add a number. So in this case, we added 5 plus 5. You know, depending on how much space we have, our increments are going to be governed by a sum, by adding. Now, with a logarithmic graph, what's going to happen is, instead of going up by a set number of units for each box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 as a factor to get to each box. So let me explain what that means. First of all, the x-axis doesn't change. I'm still going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But my y-axis is going to be different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the values that I got from the logarithm to represent each unit. So for instance, I'm going to start the first as 2 when I do my y-axis, and then to get to the next box, I'm going to not add 2 or add 5, I'm going to multiply by 2, and I'm going to get 4. Times 2 again is 8. Times 2 again is 16. Times 2 again is 32. And times 2 again is my 64. So instead of adding to get each box, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to use the values that I got from that I'm using for the logarithm to represent my intervals. Well, what does that do? Let me show you what that does. So let's go ahead and graph. Graph our points again. So when the log is equal to 1, I have 2. This point. When the log is equal to 2, I get 4. When the log is 3, I get 8. When the log is 4, I get 16. When the log is 5, I get 32, and then 64. So what is that? That's a straight line. So what is that telling us? It tells us this. This is the important part. It tells us that if we have a situation that is increasing exponentially, and I graph it logarithmically, it should produce a straight line. So this straight line, in this particular situation, represents a doubling. So again, there's to actually accurately depict this for what's going on in Florida, we'd actually have to take the x and divide it by 3, because every 3 days we get this doubling effect. But in essence, the idea is that for each time interval, and that's what the x value, the x-axis is, there's a time interval, we have a doubling of numbers of people that are contracting the COVID virus. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if we graph the data and we get, instead of a straight line, we get a line that's going like this. So it's diverging from the doubling line that's going up. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that we're increasing at a higher rate than doubling every day. So that's a bad thing. But if we can get the log graph to do something like this, what's happening is we're decreasing the number of we're decreasing the base. We're not doubling anymore. We're increasing at a slower rate. So that's the key thing. So this would be a less than doubling in each interval, and what we'd like, and this is going to be greater. This is not what we want. I will call that yuck. So we want to see anything that's going to be less than double. What this curve on the bottom is saying again is that we are doubling in a longer period of time. That's an improvement. That's a good thing. That's what we want. So look at these graphs that I got out of the newspaper. All right, and today is April 2nd, and so but this is a graph of data that goes up to March 19th. If you look at the graph, now this is just the exponential curve, similar to the one that we drew on the top here. And this exponential curve shows Italy just, climbing its numbers of coronavirus cases. Same thing with the United States. They both look like exponential curves, increasing at a pretty high rate. Both of them, in this fashion, they don't give us much information about whether or not our isolation is helping us. Okay, well, let's take this same graph and let's go over to this logarithmic graph, the same data. This is the exact same data, but it's going to be graphed logarithmically, very much like I did up here. So now let's look at this. Well, when we look at this, what we're seeing is, in this case, they're going, in this case, the logarithm's base 10. So they're going from 1 to 10 each time they multiply by 10. So that's the key to knowing that this is a logarithmic graph, is that instead of adding 10 to each increment, we're multiplying by some set number. Well, what we see with the US graph is a straight line, which means that we're not deviating from our exponential growth. And that's not a good thing. Now, I don't have the data for recent times. My sense is that we're seeing this curve starting to bend down. You look at Italy. Now, if you look at Italy from the exponential perspective, it looks really dire. But if you look at it from the logarithmic graph perspective, what we're seeing again is this leveling off. Well, what does that mean? That means that the doubling rate is decreasing and it's increasing in time. It's taking longer to double the number of people with coronavirus. So the logarithmic scale allows us to assess the efficacy of what we are doing much more accurately than if we use a regular graphing scale that we normally do use. So anyway, an application and understanding of logarithms, applying to what's going on these days. So I hope that made some sense to you, but and also give you a better understanding of what's going on when they show these graphs and they talk about the leveling off. What they're talking about leveling off is the log curve, and when when the log curve ends up flattening out a little bit, what that's saying is that yes, we are still increasing the number of COVID virus cases, but we're increasing them at a lesser rate. And that's showing that that things are getting better. So hope that made some sense to you guys, and I look forward to seeing you at our next class. Take care.